Howard again before the game, and here's the conversation.
There's a sign posted in the Pirates dressing room, an alleged quotation of Jim Palmer's. If they can't beat Flanagan, they'll never hit me. Did you say that?
How would I say that about a guy that's probably the best left-handed pitcher in baseball this year? It's a tough time of the year, Howard. You talk to so many writers, and a lot of times you get misquoted or not. They even make things up. I never said anything. I have great respect for the Pirates. I know what they can do. They hit one off one of the best left-handers in baseball last night, and they got 11 hits. My job is I hope to pitch better, but I hope we get 5 in the first because it takes a lot of things away from the Pirates. You don't run when you get 5 runs down. You don't take the extra base. You become less aggressive, and they battled back last night. They showed everybody what kind of club they are, and I'd never make a statement like that.
And I don't believe he would either, Howard. 1 ball and no strikes to Palmer. Fouls it away. The count 1-1.
But the sign is in the Bucks clubhouse. Well, people like to get things started.
They might have had somebody, one of their own writers, printed up.
That's right. Get the club fired up.
Get them fired up. That's right. Sure. Good swing that time by Palmer. 1-2 the count. Blyleven, of course, throws a lot of breaking stuff. He's never really had any major arm problems. The only problem he might have had at one time, and that was throwing across his body, but they broke him of that in the instructional league. Missing outside to count 2-2. And that's a funny way how they did it. One of the fine pitchers in baseball, Marv Grissom, was the man that did it. He stuck a chair in front of him. He said, now if you want to throw across your body, you're going to land right in the middle of it. So I guess he had to square himself away to the plate, and that broke him. Hit well left field. Miller has a play. Out number 1.
For Jim, that's a moral victory.
That's right. He'll get a hand.
It's only his second time at the plate this year.
I'd like to do that with a man on third and only 1 out, or no out. But there's 1 gone. We go to the top of the order. Al Bunbury, 1 for 4 last night. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Bounced to second and fly to left.
I'm sorry, Don. Blyleven hanging in there. His curve is as good as there is in baseball.
Line foul. The thing where Burt will get away with his curveball is that it is so good that if you're really not used to seeing that kind of a curveball, every now and then, why, he'll get away with a mistake. Depends on if he loses any velocity off of the curve, any of the good snap, the good spin.
But if you talk about the law of averages, Twin D, this guy Bunbury got to be due. He came into the game with 3 out of 31 against Blyleven. Blyleven has tortured him.
He has. They've got Madlock up on the grass at third to take away the possible bunt, and he hits it right at him, and a good play by Bill. Gets up and throws him out. Boy, there is reflexes right there. What a great reaction play.
We said the fielding would improve based on the playing conditions. Look at it again. The ball appearing like it would go past him into left field for a single. Bunbury hit the ball sharply, but quick as a cat. The reflex action of Madlock, the perfect throw. Madlock, a complete ball player.
And there's 2 gone to Belanger. 1-0. That's just a do-or-die play. If you get it, fine. If you don't, well, that's one of those things, too. Belanger 0 for 2. Marquez fly to left and then hit the shallow fly ball to right field that Parker came in and dropped.
This ball game assuming a rapid pace now as the pitchers have settled now. Begun to take command.
And it's a kind of ball game that both managers are completely in. They are there. There's the Baltimore bench. Eddie Murray. Look at that graphic.
They don't talk about Eddie Murray. He's a steady going kind of guy. But
left center, hit well. Moreno will run it down with his speed, and that is out number 3. So the Baltimore Orioles are gone, with Pittsburgh leading 2-1, and we'll be back with more baseball after this word from our local station. Well, it's a little chilly here in Baltimore, as we've mentioned for the last couple of nights.
That is not Green Bay, Wisconsin in a title game. And we are not calling this the ice game.
That is out in the Pirate bullpen. There's the scoring. All the scoring coming in the second inning. The Pirates with 2. Baltimore coming back with Murray's home run. And that's where we stand. 2-1 Pittsburgh as we go to the top of the order and the top of the 6th. It'll be Moreno, Foley, and Parker.
Your crowd, Don, is 53,739, third largest ever at the stadium.
Just, what was it, less than 100 below last night?
Now Moreno tonight has singled, and then he was doubled up on that foul pop-up by Foley in the first inning. And then he struck out. One hop to DeCinces. One away. These are the kind of innings you like to have right here in the middle part of the ball game. Just one pitch, one out. And so far Moreno, he got on base one time. He might have got so excited he forgot what to do.
We haven't met his wife yet.
But they doubled him up.
But I'm sure we will.
Here's Tim Foley. He hit into that pop double play and he singled. 1-0 the count to Foley. See how quick Dempsey will give the sign. Coming right back. Palmer doesn't want that change. He wants the fastball again, and Foley flies it to center. Right there's Bunbury. 2 gone. What is that? 3 pitches?
Yep.
3 pitches, 2 outs in the 6th for Pittsburgh, and here's Parker.
As we said, you want to get Palmer early.
Parker has bounced to DeCinces twice at third, and has not really hit the ball that hard to DeCinces. Once he just splintered his bat.
Palmer has pitched Parker very well.
Oh, 0-1 the count.
That's the way he said he wanted to pitch him. Don't forget, this Saturday, the third-rated Sooners against Texas at Dallas. Immediately following the World Series game. Keith will be down there to bring it to you.
Just took a little bit off. Now that was not a change. That was not his fastball. That is what you get in between. That's just a nothing fastball.
Well, look at it again, because Palmer just looked at umpire Engel, Bob Engel, with absolute disgust.
Now the count is 0-2. Now Palmer wants another sign. Yeah.
He's got a big burden tomorrow. Johnny Candelaria.
The Candy Man. Line to center. Bunbury will have to play it on a long hop.
Oh, it's hard to keep that big guy off the bases, isn't it?
He's tough.
He is a great, great baseball player. He is a great, great athlete. Candelaria faces the burden of going against one of the wiliest pitchers in the big league, Scott McGregor.
And it was McGregor who finally clinched it for the Orioles.
Shutting out the Angels, one of the best hitting teams in all of baseball. McGregor's control sometimes seems uncanny. He moves that ball around you. He knows the weaknesses of every hitter. And then as they begin to guess on McGregor, he begins to outguess them.
Classic example of the old saying, you put a little on, you take a little off. We'll keep Parker close.
You give him something and you take it away.
That's right. Well, he probably went into Palmer and said, hey, now don't be throwing any changes to this guy with me holding this other big dude over here at first base.
Met one of the most remarkable men in the game earlier, just before the game, came in to visit us. A man who says, I bleed Dodger blue. We'll be back next year. Thomas Lasorda.
Yeah, you know where he is? He's sitting in the coffee shop where it's warm watching television.
2 balls and no strikes.
Well, Tommy helped you a lot, my good friend.
Yes, he did.
He guided you when you were first beginning.
That was in the old Montreal club, the Montreal Royals. 2 balls and a strike to Parker. I should say to Stargell. Parker at first. There's the strike. 2-1 the count.
Interesting thing is you watch Jim Palmer. You know, the Dodgers had latched on to him. It appeared in the early going that his career might be as a Dodger. Then he went off to Arizona State, you'll recollect.
I do remember that.
And they lost out on him.
Good fastball by Palmer. 2-2 the count.
Really grunted on that one.
Now he threw this fastball by Stargell. Stargell is not on this fastball at all. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2-1 Pittsburgh with Parker at first. Billy Smith way over in the hole on that right side. He's just there. He is. Foul left side. DeCinces will give it a try. It's trying to come back and he can't reach it. Great effort.
He could have had that ball if it weren't for that roller with the top, because then he would have had the extra 2 feet to get against the Bucks. Could have leaned in and had it.
He might have had that, but if it hadn't have been for that roller with the tarp, we wouldn't have had the first game played here yet.
See that? That's what
great
kept
effort.
the ball out of his reach.
Great effort by DeCinces. And there's a grounder right to him. Easy play. Pittsburgh gone in the 6th inning. And after 5.5, it remains the Pittsburgh Pirates 2, the Baltimore Orioles 1.
That headgear'd be all right unless you got caught in a rainstorm. Then you might run.
Some of the city employees here in Baltimore.
Let's get a bill for those traffic markers.
Now's the time you want to watch Blyleven closely. With only 4 complete games and 37 starts, he's got to go against the meat of this Birds lineup: Singleton, Murray, DeCinces. Blyleven had 7 years, you'll remember, with the Twins. And finally, he went in the free agency market. There were contract problems. And the Twins have really been amazing. I don't know of any team that's been struck down by free agency the way they have. The late Bostock, Carew, Blyleven, and Heisel.
And the pitch is strike to Singleton. He is bounced to Garner at second base.
And
He's
yet,
0 for 2.
And yet, Don, Gene Mock keeps them up there.
They came along this year. They were amazing. Good curveball by Blyleven. 0-2 the count. You see, they allow the pitchers with this cold weather, they allow them to go to the mound. They can blow on their hand.
I want to correct that last statement. I said he was traded to Texas because of those contract problems.
That's exactly right. And then on to Pittsburgh. No balls and 2 strikes to Kenny Singleton. 1 for 3 in last night's game. He's so far 1 for 5 in the series. Loop to left. That will be a base hit. Milner has to get on it in a hurry. Singleton around first. A wide turn, but he will hold right there.
And that brings up Steady Eddie.
Eddie Murray coming on. There's Singleton at first base. Blyleven made a good pitch. He jammed him.
That's the test of a good hitter.
Murray has homered. He's accounted for the only Baltimore run tonight, and he's walked. There's Wild Bill Hagee. He's up there leading the cheers. He's trying to get these Oriole fans going.
It's more fun than driving a cab.
That's what he is, a cab driver here in Baltimore. Left center field, and that could be in the gap and up against the wall. It will be. They're going to send Singleton on around. They're waving. The relay will not be in time on the double by Murray. We're tied at 2.
Exactly why I said now is the time to watch Bert Blyleven for fatigue. Enrique Romo Romo quickly working in the bullpen for the Bucks as you look at it again.
Fastball up over the plate.
And hitting it where it was pitched. Steady Eddie Murray in his own way symbolizes this Birds baseball team. He doesn't get the big press notices, but he does the job.
Now it's Doug DeCinces in a 2-2 tie here in the Baltimore 6th. Nobody out, a run in. 80 pitches thrown by Blyleven.
And it's only the 6th inning and nobody out.
And now we get a left-hander up, Grant Jackson, I believe, up throwing along with Romo. And DeCinces will be trying to do one job, and that's will move that ball to the right side with nobody out, a run in, and Murray standing at second base. Baltimore known for their execution, and we'll see how they play it. Pickoff, look out, and Murray back.
There they are in the bullpen. Grant Jackson, number 23. And the man with the screwsy that drops right out from under you, Enrique Romo, the right hand.
Curveball for the strike. 0-1 the count.
Beautiful pitch. DeCinces followed it, and he knew it was in there. Keith Jackson just lit one of those little fires under our table.
One ball, one strike.
The guy on deck is no chump, remember? John Lowenstein.
There's Wild Bill. He's got him going again. They took him out to the West Coast in their playoff series with the Angels. He's been really instrumental in crowd reaction here at Memorial Stadium this year. High chopper, they get a break as he pulls it. Foley has to hurry, throws to get him, and what a play by Foley.
And a good scoop by Stargell.
Now on the play, Murray moves to third, and now we'll see how Chuck Tanner. Now here's this play by Foley.
Full throttle all the way on it, knowing full well that he had to make it perfectly, had to have something on it, and he pulls it off. Willie comes up with that big web of a glove at first and smothers it and holds on.
Foley, after he threw, he went down hard. Now the right side of the infield will come in. Foley is still back, but he is now starting to move in a little bit. He's just about at the baseline. The outfield, they play Johnny Lowenstein to hit a little bit to the opposite field. They give him the gap in right center. Foley, the deepest of the four infielders. Well, there's a dandy curve.
You see the action on that ball, folks.
That is not an optical illusion. Believe me, it is not.
Well, it has to do with rotation. Spin.
0-1. Lowenstein with the infield in.
Those who don't believe a curveball curves are those who don't believe the top of an airplane wing lifts it.
I don't believe that.
It does.
It's beginning to rain.
A few drops are starting to fall. They said that there might be some rain tonight. The wind has shifted. Tonight it is blowing out. Good fastball. 0-2 the count.
And Lowenstein was not looking for it.
No,
he was
wasn't.
looking and thinking curveball. So the ball was by him in a hurry. He'd like to have it back.
No balls, two strikes. Murray still stands at third in a 2-2 tie in the Baltimore 6th. Hit well. Parker, a good arm. Tagging is Murray. Here comes a throw. Here comes Murray. And he is dead.
Now,
What a
that's
throw
why.
by Parker.
That's why we wanted you to meet Dave Parker in the pregame show. The enormous versatility of that brilliant athlete. That kind of throw won him the MVP in the All-Star game in the Kingdome in Seattle. Murray is not the slowest runner in the world. Not the fastest, but not the slowest. A competent runner. And Ott was just waiting there with the ball. You talk about a guy 6 feet 5 inches tall, 231 pounds, who uses the whole ballpark for his hitting, who is so fleet of foot, the way a great tight end would be at the Parker size, and then who will not spare the body on the slide. As you look at this play again, the way Parker went into Balanza last night. Just a brilliant ball player.
Through 6, it's a 2-2 tie. Now we go to the 7th, and once again, here's Keith.
With John Milner up at the plate, and the rain now is starting to fall noticeably. There's packy weather coming in, sticky weather, with a lot of wet in it.
You always bring it with you.
I'm leaving. Where the sun's shining, I hope. That ball is hit out into right center field. Bunbury coming in a hurry, and he's there. That play that closed the bottom of the 6th inning for Pittsburgh after that brilliant throw by Parker. Ott blocking the plate. Strong fella. He said he never got around to that fancy stuff of lifting weights. He just growed up strong. He's a country boy. Milked cows and chased hogs in Muncie, Pennsylvania.
You've been with the cows all night. Molasses.
Got a bunch of farmers playing this game. When I was growing up, some of these little town teams around Middle America, pretty good little baseball clubs in them. As a foul back by Bill Madlock.
Tell you, Ott looks like a tree trunk down there.
He's strong.
I believe his reputation just preceded him in here to Memorial Stadium. He's tough.
Madlock fouls that one up on the right side upstairs. They count now 2 strikes on Bill. To Dave Parker, who let one get away from him. A relatively easy play early in the ball game, comes back to show you the enormous talent he possesses. That one is cued foul. Don Robinson now in the bullpen.
Cued foul, eh?
Cut off the end of the stick. Don Robinson, who came in relief last night and threw bullets. He's cranking up. Jackson and Romo have sat down. We're all even at 2 in the top of the 7th inning. That's sharply hit. DeSensei off his tummy. Throws high. And it goes into the dugout. Or goes into the crowd. Or Dempsey over there can't find it. It's in amongst the photographers, and finally fishes it out.
Well, the momentum of DeSensei just took him to the ground. He made a good play getting to the ball. That ball was hit hard. Now he just loses his balance. He goes down. Now when he gets up, I'm not too sure whether he's going to get Madlock or not, but you can see that throw of the arc. There's no chance for Murray.
Look how high Ed went, though. He really got up there, didn't he? Just pulled him right down. No gravity. It's a single and an error on the throw. And look how high Murray gets up in the air. And he's kind of lucky he didn't have a collision over there and come down hurt. As Madlock made his turn, he went on to second. Here's Ed Ott.
And Palmer with a definite challenge. Ott, a good hitter. And then the troublesome Garner.
That's foul.
Though they could walk Garner if need be, if Palmer can get past Ott.
Well, they'll force the hand of Chuck Tanner if they do that, because as you mentioned
come
before,
up for with the pinch hitter. You want to know something? Weaver made an excellent point, and I'll get to it in a minute.
1 strike pitch. Ed takes it high and away.
He was talking to a group of writers behind the batting cage. Weaver was before the game. And he said, what you people don't understand is when you've got the kind of, relievers that Pittsburgh has, in effect, they can use the designated hitter rule. They can keep pinch hitting for their pitcher.
Well, they've got a bunch of them over there, and they've got some guys down in that bullpen that can get you out.
Palmer is high and wide again. Count now 2 balls and a strike. 1 out. And Bill Madlock at second base with a single and the throwing error by DeSensei. That's 3 errors on Doug in 2 games.
You might have seen Palmer now go to his mouth with his finger, but he was down off of the mound. You can do it as long as you're not on that little round piece of dirt out there.
Good point.
That's a strike. Ed knew full well he went for a high fastball out of the strike zone. There's that old, get that high fastball and a hitter's eyes get as big as a plate. They just can't hardly control themselves. Two and two. In a 2-2 ball game. Bill Garner next, then the pitcher spot. Looking out.
What a good change. Great change by Palmer. Now here comes Weaver. Now they will talk it over as we look at this change one more time.
That's not fair.
Way out in front.
And as Weaver goes to the mound and Dempsey comes to join in and Doogie to Sensei too, Weaver is facing the very thing he talked about before the game to that group of writers. Do we want to put Garner on? There are the pitchers for tomorrow. We've talked about both McGregor and Johnny Candelaria.
Bob Engel ambling out to the mound say, y'all gonna take all night?
Pirates are so deep. So many hitters on that bench.
Well, Garner, second baseman, he's got to feel like he's got the list in his pocket going to the market and knowing what he's going to get. He knows he's not going to get anything right here, and they won't even waste any time. They're just going to put him on. Dempsey standing outside. Look out.
I would think we might see Easler. What do you think, Don?
Very well.
Well, Blyleven's out there with his jacket on.
I think watching Robinson throw in the bullpen that Tanner was not going to give away anything. He probably sent Blyleven out there. He's thrown 86 pitches so far just to make sure that he's not giving his hand away. He's looking back to the dugout. You know, Bert doesn't want to come out of here. But he said before, you know, I've only completed 4 games, but he says what I've learned, there he is. It is.
Yep, it's Easler.
If it means winning a ball game, he says, hey, I'll just try and hold him as close as I can, as long as I can, and after that, Chuck's going to make the moves that he wants to anyway.
So Mike Easler comes on as the pinch hitter. 283 on the regular season in 54 ball games. Bert Blyleven clapping his hands as he walks away.
Pitched a fine game. Nothing that deserves those congratulations from his teammates. Forget all that drivel they used to throw out about not being able to perform in the big ones. And in the Baltimore bullpen, the young man, Tippy Martinez, hasn't allowed a home run since Aurelio Rodriguez hit one against him last year in May. How's that for a record, Don?
Not too bad. A lot of people like to have that.
Easler stands in against Palmer now with 2 Buccaneers on the bases and 2 out, and he fouls it back. He jumped on the first pitch, and it was a high fastball. And there's his pretty lady sitting in the crowd. Mike Easler came over from Boston March of this year for George Hill, Martin Rivas, and Cash. He led the International League in 1978 at Columbus, hitting .330.
It's not a bad batting average, is it? With 2 outs and runners on base. He has 2 home runs. I saw him hit one of them. He can hit.
Madlock at second, Garner at first, and Palmer's pitch is off the corner, and it's 1-1. There's the big burly West Virginian.
To be 22 and that strong.
And he'll be the new Bucks pitcher.
Palmer deliberate. Easler pops it foul, back out of play. 1-2.
Trying to get a little bit of the book on what Baltimore feels about Easler. The first pitch was a fastball up and in that tied him up on a little half swing. And that pitch right there, he didn't have a good swing at it. Fastball up and in. Palmer, in the late innings when he gets going and gets in a groove, boy, he gets awful tough. He just doesn't give you that real good pitch to hit.
What a money pitcher, though. What a scrapper. What a battler.
Now they get the 2-strike count, and here comes the fans to life.
Changed on him. It's low.
That kind of pitch can torment you half to death.
Mike Easler's saying right now, I'm glad that wasn't a strike.
He had no chance to hit that ball. He was right up on the toes of his lead foot.
Yeah, but he's hanging in there.
The 2-2 count, 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 ball game. Chuck Tenner in the Pittsburgh dugout. The pitch is high, and it's full at 3-2.
You could see Dempsey take that clenched fist and say, come on now, let me have it. Let me have something on it. And he missed a little high.
These two teams are something. They really are evenly matched.
They are, Howard, and now with a full count and 2 outs, well, you're going to see both men moving.
Runners go, 3-2 pitch, fouled off.
He's hanging tough. Give him that.
He's hanging tough, and Palmer pitched him tough right there.
Man on deck, Omar Moreno.
What do you suppose Dempsey just told him, Don?
Well, number one, he probably just told him, he said, we're going to go out there, we're going to go at him. Let's go at him with our hard stuff and our best stuff and try and get in that spot. Appears they're trying to pitch him up and in. Or he might have turned around and said, too, he said, you want to stick with a fastball? And Palmer probably, I would say he might have said yes.
Good picture play on the two managers.
Dempsey.
Oh.
Unhappy over the call. Easler walks. Bases loaded. Moreno coming to the plate. Omar Moreno went down last night for the 3rd out with the bases loaded for Pittsburgh.
What's that, Keith? Look at this pitch.
It's a close pitch. Dempsey thought he had it. Palmer thought he had it. And Bob Engel said, I thought it was a little low, men. We got one more to go.
I thought the National League was the low ball league.
Bill Madlock at 3rd. Bill Garner at 2nd. Mike Easler at 1st.
And Omar Moreno at the plate. Go back to what Keith Jackson said in his opening of the telecast. This is the man who must come through.
Okay, she's got her whistle.
Where is the whistle?
Strike. Rain getting heavy now.
Yep. But Keith told you, in his opinion, Moreno would play a significant role and would have to be successful in that role if the Bucks were to win. Here is Moreno's chance, or Moreno as you will.
And Jim Palmer taking his sweet time.
Maybe.
Crafty veteran. You know that Omar, after the night he had last night, is feeling a little heat. You know that. That is foul.
I think Mrs. Moreno has discarded the whistle as a bad luck. Joe.
Another good pitch by Palmer. He got that fastball up and in on him. I don't know whether it's harder on the players or the wives when you get into things like this. I got to believe it's harder on the wives. And the families, the aunts and uncles, the moms and dads, the brothers and sisters.
Ginger always told me it was.
2-2 ball game. The bases are loaded. 2 out. A 2-strike count on Moreno. And he'll back up. Rain coming down.
It's kind of a steady drizzle right now.
Struck him out.
They are making Omar Moreno the fall guy so far.
In the middle of the 7th inning, Palmer gets off the hook, and the score remains tied at 2-2. Got him to swing at a pitch out of the strike zone, then he got him a foul. And he struck him out.
Yes, sir.
He struck him out.
Out of the 3 pitches, 2 were balls, and yet Singleton went for it.
Look at this breaking pitch. You think it doesn't snap?
spins it right down inside, and Kenny can't hold up. And we continue after 7, a 2-2 tie. Back with more baseball after this word from our local station. The line score in the ball game. Jim Palmer is out of there. Tippy Martinez comes on. His last appearance, September 30. He pitched only 11 2/3 innings during the month of September. But he warmed up, and warmed up. Pitching coach Ray Miller, in keeping his charts on his pitching staff, said the Birds had Tippy up throwing a total of 275 times during this past season. So he ought to be in shape. Kiko Garcia goes in at shortstop in relief of Mark Belanger, who was lifted for the pinch batter. And for the Pittsburgh Pirates, they will send Tim Foley, Dave Parker, and Willie Stargell. And the percentages of baseball are about to be tested very early as the left-handed relief pitcher comes in. He will face Foley, the right-hander, and then come Messrs. Parker and Stargell, both from the left side. Martinez can pop the ball.
While Tippy is warming up, I think an announcement's in order. James Rodney Richard, who was to have shortly become a free agent, made Astro fans happy today. He has just signed a 4-year contract with the Houston club. And you talk about flame throwing. What about Mr. Richard, Donald?
Well, I'll tell you, he's got it. He has got it. An excellent fastball, an excellent breaking pitch, and he gains full command of both of them. You're allowed to see all kinds of records broken.
Well, Keith said that the percentages are about to be tested. We saw Parker and Stargell between them get 5 hits against Southpaws last night. Against one Southpaw, Flanagan, the best.
Bob Engel going out to the mound, and I think he's going to define the limitations in what you can do with your hands to your mouth. You got to be back off that mound. It's cold. They do let him blow on the fingers, but not standing on the pitching rubber.
And it was Earl Weaver that went out to tell Bob Engel, hey, look it, go out and tell my guy, I don't want to go out and make a trip to the mound. I don't want that. But you go on out and tell him.
Now Tim Foley is in there, and we're ready to go as Tippy Martinez relieves Jim Palmer and comes with the fastball high, and in the bullpen, Don Stanhouse.
Colorful, flaky kind of guy. Weaver's great faith in him.
There's a strike.
These two teams will scratch and claw at each other for maybe 7 games in this series.
Foley hits it down the right side. Going toward the corner, Singleton over there, gets it. Just
that
in
wind.
their ground, and the wind blew it back in.
Yep.
No question about it.
That ball was in the seats.
That's what it looked like, Don.
Goes right to the wall.
That ball is up in the seats, and here's where you cannot give up on a ball. That ball blowing back in, and actually, let's see where Kenny catches it. If it's even in foul territory or fair territory. It's fair.
Yeah.
That's going to come down fair.
Dave Parker.
Here's Dave Parker. Singled his last time up in the 6th inning. Ball 1. Dempsey wants it down and outside. Breaking pitch, snaps in there, just exactly where Rick Dempsey called for it. And it's 1-1. Outside again with it. Fastball is high. Couldn't see how many fingers.
Number 2.
Hit on the ground of the third baseman, DeCinces. Doug throws and gets him 2 down. Now here comes Wilbur as we take another look at the play by DeCinces. Ball sort of spinning off the end of the bat.
Look at the water coming off.
Yeah.
You could see that kind of disgusted look at DeCinces. He's throwing it. He's got 5 fingers in a prayer on that one.
Water
Said it was like a bar of soap last night.
Game conditions won't bother the groundskeeper.
That's the way the scoring was done by the Pirates in the second inning. Stargell was involved in it with Milner and Matlock behind him, with Willie scoring. Ott getting a sacrifice fly for the 2 runs. The Orioles, Murray a home run in the second. Then in the sixth inning, Singleton's a single and Murray's double. And that's where we are at 2-2 with Pittsburgh at bat in the top of the 8th inning. And 2 out. Nobody on. The breaking pitch is in for a strike to Willie. Tippy Martinez makes it look so easy, doesn't he? Fluid motion. It's 2 strikes on Stargell.
You know how they got Martinez, don't you, Keith?
Yes.
Yankees made a great deal, didn't they? Dempsey, McGregor, Martinez, all to the Birds.
Pitch to Willie. Yes. And appeal to the third base side umpire, Jim McKean. He says no.
Yeah, that deal, if you recall, he was acquired from the Yankees with Dempsey, Rudy May, Dave Pagan, and Scott McGregor.
Strike 3. Stargell takes the curveball and strikes out looking in the top of the 8th inning. So Tippy Martinez comes in and does his job, gets him in order. Middle of the 8th inning, it's tied at 2. Primarily a fastball pitcher and a fastball hitter at the plate. Strength against strength. A 2-2 tie in the bottom of the 8th inning. Foul.
Well, everybody's got to stay warm.
It's out in the Pirate bullpen.
What happened to the fire?
Roasting hot dogs on it. Raining again. Changes outside and high. Don Finn, run off that trade that we left a note on a while ago. All the people that went back and forth in that bushel basket deal that we were talking about.
Yeah, well, we'll do that right after this pitch.
The count is 1-1 on Eddie Murray. Little looper out in short center field, and it drops. Base hit. Bat came apart. Robinson hit him right on the hands with it, but Murray fought it off and dunked it. And the go-ahead runs on first.
Now we're talking about that trade for the Baltimore Orioles and the Yankees. Of course, I said before it was Dempsey, Martinez, May, Pagan, McGregor for Doyle Alexander, Ellie Hendricks, Kenny Holtzman, Brant Jackson, and Jimmy Freeman for you trivia fans.
That's not trivia to the Birds fans.
No.
That's one of the trades of the century, not just the decade.
Doug DeCinces to face Don Robinson now, with Murray on first base. The way Martinez looked in his first outing, first top of this inning, he may be hard to get to for a while.
Now Pittsburgh's looking for the sacrifice. Madlock up on the grass at third.
Well, last night, Doug DeCinces was the man who hit that blast to deep right center that Parker corralled with that brilliant one-handed running catch. DeCinces likes the fast stuff.
Well, you see the 2 corner outfielders, Milner and Parker, they're all deep. The main thing you don't want now is a ball hit over your head.
Robinson playing catch with Stargell right now. Jacoby and Jackson in the pen. Madlock goes to the mound for a moment.
That's your outfield alignment. You'll play deeper in the latter part of the ball game. Of course, right here you're in a 2-2 tie. Ball hit over your head for extra bases, and you're down a run with the speed of Murray at first.
Raining pretty hard right now, too.
You look around home plate, and you can see exactly where the movement of the feed is, and you can see how that has actually been kind of, well, it's dark. There you see the light spots underneath where they'll kick it around.
Ball got loose in the bullpen.
I don't think Robinson's making it any easier for himself. He keeps walking back on that wet grass and then back on the dirt.
Now we're ready. Murray off first. Nobody out. Disinsay at the plate. They're trying to keep Eddie as close as possible.
You're a guy like Stargell, you've really got to be alive because you can find yourself handcuffed over there if you fall asleep a little bit.
Time called now by the first base umpire, Russ Getz. Eddie Murray asking for the opportunity to clean off his cleats. Now he's ready. Spikes, if you like. But is foul.
Now there's a case where Doug just didn't have his bat in the proper position. He had the bat laying back. Big thing about bunting, you got to get the bat out. And then you come back with a pitch. You don't leave the bat back and just try and flip it out there.
And he wants that ball down the first base line. One reason is obvious. One other reason is that Willie he's quick, but he is not the quickest of the infielders. He's also got to hold against Murray. And then as soon as the pitcher comes to the plate, Willie's got to start his move. The ball's going to be wet if it goes down on the grass. The bunt is back to the pitcher. Pitcher goes to second. No! Ball gets away from Foley.
Keith, I believe you just called it right there when you said that ball's going to be wet. I'll tell you, Tim Foley right now is so mad he could pick that ball up and eat it. He is hot. This ball has got to be a forced play at second base, except we have some disadvantages right here. You've got the water on the grass, and look at that. Now Foley is committed to the left side of the bag, and it's back to the right side. And I believe that the ball moving the way that Robinson can throw, I think he just handcuffed Foley.
So you would give the error to Robinson?
Yes, I would.
I would. Absolutely.
I'd give the error to Robinson, yes, sir. I don't know who they're going to give it to.
Error. No, they give the error to the shortstop.
Okay. We're right.
Ball is hit. Foley has it. Goes over to second, back to third. They've got Murray hung up. They tag him out. And they've got 2 outs on that play. A lot of scrambling around. When it looked like he was going to break loose, bang, bang, the 2 fellas wearing white suits are headed for the dugout. Now watch this ball hit sharply to the shortstop Foley. Now, Foley takes a swipe at Murray, misses him, then goes over to second to get the runner coming down there. And now they've got Murray hung up, and they run him down, and suddenly the whole thing turns around in favor of Pittsburgh in a 2-2 ball game.
A great heads-up play by Tim Foley because they had the protection play on, a defensive play on, and the ball was hit. You couldn't have rolled it out any better to Foley. As soon as they went to second base, he got Murray in between. As soon as they made the play at second base, that took the force out. Now they've got to make the tag play on Murray, and they executed that play perfectly. And all of a sudden, what seemed to be a rally has kind of died down.
It sure has, and you have to wonder why Lowenstein hit that way when the job is to advance the runners. He hit in front of him.
And on the first pitch. So John's on first base on the fielder's choice, and here is Billy Smith. 2 out now. Oh, now there's a pitch, throw that almost got away from the pitcher.
Also, against a pitcher like Robinson, who's been wild, you wonder why they keep hitting at the first pitch the way Singleton did to close out the last inning.
Adrenaline. Outside corner to Billy Smith. Strike 1. That's strike 2.
Boy, another good breaking pitch. They keep looking for that fastball, and he's throwing in that good breaking pitch, and they just can't hold up.
Weaver faces, and the manager's not afraid of the second guess. A second guess on the failure to have Lowenstein bunt. Faces a big second guess there.
Bottom of the 8th inning, looked like the Orioles had something going. But that elongated, scrambling double play has taken some of the steam away from their motion.
When you fail to capitalize on an opportunity like that, so many times it costs you.
Oh, that is so true, Howard.
Ball is hit on the ground to Garner, slips, but he makes the play. And Robinson gets out of an horrific jam and will go to the 9th inning, all even, 2-2. Bill Robinson will come out to hit for John Milner and go into left field. As you saw the line score, as we go to the top of the 9th inning. Bill played left field last night. Bill Madlock will follow him, and then Ed Ott. Or perhaps Nicosia. We'll see.
That's a good graphic. Interesting. Leads the Bucks in hitting home runs against left-handers. He's against a southpaw who hasn't given a home run in more than a year.
Fouled at the plate.
I still go back to that inning. Don't forget this Saturday, Oklahoma rated number 3 against Texas, rated number 4. It's the time of the big state fair in the Big D, and Keith will be there to bring it to you.
And the pitch is outside from Martinez to make it 1-1. This is Bill Robinson right there. Bill looks, it's low, and it's 2-1. Whoa, that pitch was outside. It's 2-2.
I think Bill knows it. You could tell by the way his reaction was after the swing. He just realized he went after a bad ball, and he says, well, get back in and try one more time.
That's foul. Rain again has let up. New baseball.
And they'll get one more.
Engel bounced that one off Tippy's shin. They'll rub on it. I guess he'll keep it.
Now, you know what you could do? Just reach down and get a little dirt there and say, well, I'm just trying to dry it off. You could have that thing about a burnt orange before you got through rubbing it.
All right, Tippy's ready. A 2-2 count on Bill Robinson. Hitting for John Milner. Fires it back.
He got a little lucky right there. He hung that curveball. You see Dempsey looking out and Martinez just nodding his head. Now Tippy says, not going to want another ball. That one doesn't feel right.
Here comes 2-2 one more time. Pulled in the hole, left field. Base hit for Bill Robinson. Robinson has good quickness on the bases.
Got a pitch just up over the plate, and Robinson just waited well and hit it cleanly through the hole. That ball hopping out there on that sideline for football. And here comes Earl Weaver.
Earl Weaver comes to the mound. Don Stanhouse is in the bullpen. Bill Madlock is a right-handed hitter.
He's coming in, Stanhouse. Weaver didn't waste a second, but he must be thinking back to last inning and wondering if he should have bunted. That's the scene set. We'll be back in a moment.
Yeah.
Don Stanhouse gets the call one more time, and Stanhouse was a horse for these Baltimore Orioles in the playoff series against California. During the regular season, his 52 ball games, you can see his numbers there, and they are also impressive. He's a gamer. He's a tough, hard pitcher. But he's going to be looking at a guy who has hit him well as they have met in the course of their careers, as Madlock will come up. But Madlock conceivably might not come. We'll see. Matt Alexander now has gone to run for Bill Robinson. So Chuck Tanner going for speed on the bases. And that will mean that Alexander probably will go in and play left.
When you talk about when you talk about Matt Alexander, he's liable to take off at any moment because he's a speed burner.
He is the designated base runner for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Don Stanhouse is a type of pitcher, Keith, that, well, Earl Weaver calls him one pack. The reason he calls him that, he says, by the time he gets through, he says, I've gone through one pack of cigarettes. He says, sometimes I can watch him and sometimes I can't. And Don's the type of guy, he's a nibbler. He doesn't like to really throw you a strike unless he has to.
To give you an idea of the speed of Alexander, he stole 13 bases this year and was caught one time. I'm not suggesting that he's going to be running here, but I am suggesting that if somebody hits behind him, he can flat fly.
Well, I said one pack, they call him full pack or whatever, but that is Alexander at first. He wants to make sure that his shoes are clean. They've got some T-shirts that are in circulation right now by the players. They also call, there's Madlock against Stanhouse. They call Don Stan the man unusual.
Well, let's see. Matlock, I don't think Alexander will be running. We could be wrong. Weaver was unorthodox last inning.
It wouldn't surprise me to see him go.
I would look for the bunt or the hit and run. Matlock is a good man on the hit and run. He has that short, compact, beautiful swing. Excellent at hitting behind the run.
We're going one way, either stealing or hit and running.
This isn't the fastest turf in the world because of the rain. Dempsey has a superb arm.
And in the top of the ninth inning, you do not want to waste a base runner.
Nope.
Stan the man unusual.
He's standing out there with his arms folded, waiting for Madlock to get ready. Stoddard now is in the bullpen for Baltimore. Big right-hander. Stanhouse comes to the pitching rubber. Alexander edges off.
Has started. Superb basketball player for the Wolfpack at North Carolina State. And he comes at you like Ratatouille.
Alexander scratching around. Getting the grip. Stanhouse looks him back and Madlock takes a walk.
Stanhouse is not the fastest worker in the world. He will stand out there, he will think a little bit and stammer around, kick at the dirt. Of course, he's got some unusual conditions right now as the drizzle comes down just a little bit harder.
Guys needle him in the clubhouse, said things aren't right for Stanhouse unless the bases are loaded with less than 2 outs. Al Monchak over there making some noise to the first base umpire about that move. He's been out there 4 minutes. He's yet to pitch to Madlock. Alexander goes. The throw. No. Yes. My goodness, I thought he had it. Dempsey shoots him down. And a great play by Garcia to reach in amongst the flying feet and legs and come up with it.
Well, take another peek at it. You knew that Alexander's a speed burner and Tanner isn't going to waste any time. Okay, here's the second baseman, Gary Tata. There's a throw. Oh, the tag.
Cleanly out.
Yes, sir.
And you know that the turf is wet. And you know that nobody has a better arm than that superb and too frequently underrated catcher, Rick Dempsey. So I go back to the hit and run or the bunt. This, remember, is the 9th inning.
And it's raining again.
Well, I just had a sneaking suspicion he was going to go.
Well, Matlock got a swing at that ball.
He was trying to protect him.
Ball 1. Pitch was up high. Put Dempsey in a very good throwing position. The throw tailed off in toward the runner. Garcia went behind the runner to get the tag on him. And Stonehouse goes to 2 balls and no strikes to Bill Matlock.
See the rain coming down strongly again. It's only the 2nd time Alexander's been thrown out this year, but
there's a strike.
Look at that rain now.
That's the hardest it's rained, I think, so far this
We
season.
may wind up replaying this game. All stats will stand. Meet us after the South Bend game, Keith, following week.
That's a foul ball.
Are you doing the Army-Navy game this year?
Well, there are several things in life man can't do much about, and this is one of them, weather. Chuck Tanner pacing around in the dugout.
I think Chuck has got to feel it's even just a little bit fortunate right now to be tied at 2.
Yep. Right.
After last inning, and that
right.
curious double play.
Matlock hits a high fly ball out into left center field, hits it well, but Bumgar's there with time to spare and makes the catch 2 out.
Well, I'd like to talk to Pat Santarone, the groundskeeper, about the condition of that outfield now. Neither rain, nor hail, nor snow, nor sleet.
The batter is Ed Ott with 2 out. Back on the corner.
Well, right now, when you go back and kind of recap it, there's 2 things you can look at while you're still in the 2-2 tie. And number 1, you've got to start off with the arm of Dave Parker in right field, who shut down Eddie Murray.
Yep. That's foul. Back under the stands where it's dry. The commissioner has put on a hat and coat. That's how wet it's getting.
Yep, that's the Baltimore dugout.
The 2-strike pitch to Ed Ott is fouled into the crowd.
And if somebody's looking along and saying, well, Baltimore will win it in the 9th, who they have is Dempsey, the pitcher spot, the top of the order, Bunbury. Those are the scheduled 3.
I wouldn't look ahead just yet because I've seen Ott hit them out.
Oh, yeah.
He's got power.
Garcia is going to be batting in the number 9 spot, shortstop. That's right. Steve Stone joins Stoddard in the Baltimore pen. The pitch is high to Ed Ott, and the count is now 1-2 with 2 out and nobody on.
Interesting facial study of a troubled manager. Look at Earl Weaver, it's much the same.
Time call.
I think each manager is trying to prove he's unorthodox.
The pitch just missed. Dempsey says something about it, and so does Earl Weaver.
Look at the audacious little guy.
He is, isn't he?
I think Earl's kind of kicking himself right now.
I'm sure he is for the 8th inning. Well, you're talking about second guessing. He said yesterday in our Up Close and Personal, he goes home and goes into his office after a game, and he's the first one to replay the circumstances. That ball is hit sharply and off Smith. Billy hurries and can't make a play.
Boy, that took a bad hop. Billy Smith, he's trying to get his win. That's what they say usually about third basemen when they play him off their chest, is that you'll last and have a long career if your chest holds out. Right there is a good example of Billy Smith at second base.
All right, the little pepper pot is up.
That's a base hit.
Phil Garner.
Now, we're considering all things. Here comes the old hindsight, the second guessing, as people are wont to call it. But what if, huh?
They've got about 3 chapters on that if.
Yeah.
300 edition.
I told you I wouldn't look ahead just yet. Donald?
Well, I'm not. I'm just saying the facts. Who's going to be there? I'm not saying when they're going to get there.
Phil Garner takes a pitch low to Colby's up in the pen for Pittsburgh.
There's your man.
We may very well see him. Ed Ott at first base. Not the swiftest of the Pirates.
This is the kid who hit .377, Garner, for the month of September. Tremendous clutch hitter in the stretch run.
2 out.
Second straight day Pittsburgh has out-hit Baltimore.
Pitch is inside to Garner. 2 balls and no strikes. Phillip, according to the scoreboard, an All-American in baseball at the University of Tennessee.
The sensei right now, of course, he's got to guard that line down the third baseline. He's just a couple of big steps off of it, trying to keep his hands warm. And
pitch just low.
out on deck, that is Don Robinson, but that's the pitcher spot. He's another decoy out there for Chuck Champion.
Stanhouse is really digging himself a hole.
Jacoby is warm in the bullpen for Pittsburgh. He's taking his time about it, too. Pitch is high. So Phil Garner goes to first. Ed Ott moves down to second, and let's see what Chuck Penner decides to do.
He's going to go to the bench, and you're getting a good idea right now of why Earl Weaver calls Don Stanhouse full pack.
Well, Stanhouse was really creamed in that 9-8 victory when he succeeded Flanagan in the playoffs against the Angels.
Well, he had the tying run at third base, the go-ahead run at second base, and an additional run over at first when he finally got the side retired. And Baltimore finally won it, like you say, 9-8. There's Manny Sanguillen.
Manny appeared last night as a pinch batter.
Manny was a consequential figure in the 1971 series between these two clubs.
He was then younger and the starting catcher. In his heyday, this big guy could really run, the catcher, too. But now Stanhouse, you saw the numbers that Sanguillen has faced him 10 times and picked up 4 base hits. The tie-breaking run is at second base in the person of Ed Ott.
And the only thing you've got to try and neutralize the maybe the speed of Ott, who is not the fastest runner. If a base hit goes to the outfield, you know that the outfield is going to be handling a wet ball.
Manny's lady.
Getting colder now too, as the whole ballpark is pretty wet. But so far, the traction or the grip for the spikes appears to be all right. We did see one infielder, Garner, a little while ago slip some, but the ball, when it comes off that grass, is sopping wet. With 2 out, Don Stanhouse pitching to Manny Sanguillen in the top of the 9th inning in a 2-2 ball game, and he's on the rubber. The runner's edge off. The infield is back looking for the 3rd out. The hole in the outfield is in left center. Stanhouse is in with a strike.
Bunbury fairly shallow in right center field. Frank Robinson moving some people around.
Yeah, he wanted Bunbury to go farther into right center.
He is absolutely right, because that's Manny's favorite spot.
If he can get out in front of something, though, and punch it down the left side, both men might score. Omar Moreno is on deck. Foul back.
He had a pitch he could pull then too, and he was out in front of it. And you can see Manny said, "Let me have that back one more time."
Well, I'll tell you, Stanhouse is lucky he got it back, because it's right on the letters, right where you would want it. They played 3 hours and 18 minutes last night. They're closing in on it tonight. Tough, nervous ball game.
Scratching, clawing.
Two-strike pitch. Outside.
You know, as shallow as Singleton is playing in right field, Sanguillen's got better power that way. He's playing pretty shallow out there.
He's way up. I remember trying to do that one time. I used a bat to knock the dirt out of my cleats, hit myself on the ankle. I couldn't walk straight for a month.
Doesn't that hurt?
Oh, Lord.
You want to lay right down and cry.
1-2 the count.
Pivotal game for the Pirates, maybe in the whole series. A chance to maybe put it away.
Foul back. Manny hanging in.
Sanguillen is wearing a lot of those Dodgel stars.
I wonder if Earl Weaver's watching all this. A lot of times he doesn't.
He's thinking back to the 8th inning.
Oh.
You don't want to.
Count on is 1-2 with 2 out, 2 on. Top of the 9th inning, 2-2 tie. Hit to the right side. It's going to be in there for a base hit. Singleton playing short, right field. Throws to Murray. Relay. No! Pirates get the lead.
So often, when you do not take advantage of opportunity, as the Birds didn't in the 8th, you pay the piper. Failing to capitalize, the other team will. And so, that is what has just happened. Sanguillen, a pronounced opposite field hitter.
Dempsey just couldn't get his foot out there in time to make the block. If he gets his foot back a little bit, it might be a different play at home plate. Singleton, as he came on, he took a divot out. Now, what Ott has got to think about He doesn't want to slip on all that wet grass. Now watch the left leg of Dempsey.
Just missed it.
Just did miss him, and the good hook slide by Ott enables him to get the plate just under the tag.
One more look as Sanguillen punches the ball to right field. Singleton,
Look at that big pivot.
He slipped right there, and that might have cost him. Now the throw coming in on the money to Murray, and Murray whips it. Then Ott just eluding.
Actually, Dempsey's out just in front of the plate a little too much. If he's back a little bit, it's a different story. He's out there about maybe 2.5, 3 feet.
And so the Pittsburgh Pirates have gone on top 3-2 in the top of the 9th inning. And here's Marino with Phil Garner now at third base, Sanguillen over at first. Right to the second baseman, Billy Smith, and the inning is over. But what a big inning for the Pirates as they get the lead 3-2. We'll have more after this message and a word from our local stations. Kent Tekulve comes in trying to save the ball game for Don Robinson and for the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pirates are leading 3-2. And before the ball game, Howard talked with this remarkable relief pitcher about the value of scouting reports.
I take it you've studied the scouting reports on the Baltimore hitters.
I looked at them, but basically I don't really, even during the regular season, I don't pay a whole lot of attention to scouting reports because I have my one style of pitching, and I have to go out there and basically pitch my own game and keep the ball down in the strike zone, throw strikes, and try to get as many ground balls as possible. So it's really a matter of, I look at the scouting reports and say, well, that's nice. They're scouting reports, they have them, and then I'm going to go ahead and pitch my own game anyway.
So much for that.
You know, you got a lot of people, as Matt Alexander, who's gone in to play left field for Pittsburgh, but you got a lot of people on these two ball clubs who are just straight up, square people who look you right in the eye and give you a very direct answer, don't you? Matty Sanguillen now going toward the bullpen. And they'll keep things active out there in case something happens, I would think, to Tekulve here.
There's going to be a lot of talk about this ball game and about the events in the late innings and a lot of second guessing.
Oh, there's no question about that, Howard.
There's Mrs. Tekulve, and she will assure you that she's tried everywhere in the world to fatten him up and can't.
If the Bucks get out of here, winning 1 out of 2, what a happy position they're in. It's hard to beat the Birds in this ballpark. The record shows that. And it's hard to beat the Bucks on that turf of theirs, the artificial stuff at Three Rivers. They've got 3 games coming up there. So if the Bucks can hold together here, they're in a very, very happy position.
Romo and Jackson stay active in the Pittsburgh bullpen. There's Grant, the left-hander, and Romo, the right-hander. And it's wet and sticky.
2 big moments in this ball game. Parker's great throw to cut down Eddie Murray at home. You saw that, eh?
I was watching Stargell hit Tekulve on the seat of the pants when he went by. Probably bruised him.
And the other big situation, the bottom of the 8th. First and second, none out. No bunt, no hitting behind the runners. Curious double play engineered by Tim Foley with some heads-up play.
Dempsey swings and misses for strike 1. Garcia will follow him, and then we'll have the top of the order, Al Bumbry, in the bottom of the 9th inning with Pittsburgh on top 3-2.
This is the kid who grew up in Cincinnati, Tekulve, and we mentioned it last night. At the age of 15, they were already calling him the Whip after Ewell Blackwell.
Oh, he's tough. 2 strikes now on Dempsey. What did Tom Lasorda say? That he hates to even think about him, much less see him coming. 94 ball games he appeared this year.
What a job he's done, isn't it?
Remarkable. Struck him out.
Made it look easy.
Watch this curveball and the pitching motion by Jacoby. Arms and legs. Well, he gives you a lot to look at, doesn't he?
That buggy whip, that arm goes behind the back, and suddenly, as you seek and strain to see the ball, it is already past you. Drysdale came up that way a little bit.
Well, I wasn't down that far. But I'll tell you one thing, it's no fun hitting off of people like that. I'll guarantee you that.
Kiko Garcia is the batter, the shortstop. The pitch is outside.
Those kind of pitchers that now you see it and now you don't, well, you can have them.
Ooh, he's... That's a foul ball.
You just looked at Earl Weaver. Now a very troubled manager, and he knows what he's likely to be getting from media people if he loses this game. But that is a great manager, and he has proved it. There is nobody better, and he is unafraid, as I have said, of the second guess. There's our schedule. Game 3 tomorrow. That'll be in Pittsburgh. Game 4 Saturday in Pittsburgh. Right after Game 4, Texas against Oklahoma.
The 1-1 pitch to Garcia. 1-2. Jacoby comes at 1-2, and it's fouled away.
You break your back straining to reach the ball.
Well, he keeps it in such a good location. He's got that breaking pitch zeroed in outside. And first of all, that right-hand hitter, he's got a tendency to kind of give a little bit. Roy Campanella used to call it kind of your jelly left leg.
Right there, the hero of the game at this moment. At this moment, the great veteran catcher, Manny Sanguino, former teammate of the late Roberto Clemente, who owned the 71 series between these two teams.
A 1-2 pitch to the Baltimore shortstop, Garcia. Strike called inside corner. Garcia is looking. He strikes out. Dempsey swinging.
It was the last pitch in the world that Garcia expected to see.
Well, he got a curveball, and he got it right over the plate, and he wasn't looking for it there.
Nope.
Well, no, it wasn't a breaking pitch. It was a fastball. Fastball. Got it right there, and he was not looking for it.
And a running fastball at that, with that particular grip and delivery. Here's Bumbry now, the last chance for Baltimore in the bottom of the 9th inning. Yes, sir, this one may go 13 innings in the 7th game before it's finally done. It's got to be an exhilarating experience, though. It looks like somebody brought a knife from the kitchen table, doesn't it? They've given up on the
this manager up there to play
tongue depressor.
Play Mumbly Pig for a while.
Got to keep those spikes clean. One slip could be so costly. May has come out of the dugout in case Bumbry can get something going.
In the pattern of this game, think back to what we said about Earl Weaver before the game.
Outside, ball 1.
When you've got a relief staff like Pittsburgh's, he said, they make the absence of the designated hitter rule work for them because they keep putting in pinch hitters and in effect have the designated hitter.
Low.
And that became the story with Sanguino.
Well, what he's absolutely doing, he is complimenting the Pittsburgh bench. And they've got a great bench.
I got a hunch if Jacoby can get Bumbry here that whole Pirate dugout's going to empty. Beat Powell, and it's back of the plate. Ott has it. We'll have local news just as soon as this game is over. But the way this series is going, you don't say it's over until it truly is over. Lee May is waiting on deck. Power hitter. Bunbury right now, though, is the man. Bases are empty. 2-1 count on him. 2 out. Pittsburgh leading 3-2. Trying to even the series at 1 game apiece. Strike. 2-2.
Nothing but stodged stalls.
Well, if it ends this way, I'd have to say Manny Sanguin will get one.
The shortstop Foley, big bounce, throws him out. The Pirates win.
And look at that Pirate dugout emptying out. There is Manny Sanguin, the hero of the moment, the battle-worn face.
Did his job. So did Tekulve. So did Robinson, who struggled. For that matter, everybody who was there. But for a curious double play in the 8th inning, when Baltimore sort of ran themselves out of the competition in that particular moment. And so we're all even at 1 game apiece. Join us tomorrow night, Game 3 of the 7-9 World Series between Pittsburgh and Baltimore, live at 8 Eastern Time from Pittsburgh. Travel arrangements made through and promotional fee paid by United Airlines. More people fly United to Hawaii than any other airline. Final score, Pittsburgh 3, Baltimore 2. Stanhouse loses it. Robinson wins it.